Hey guys, well today I want to try and boil some water out of a material that I don't have native to me here in Minnesota. This is bamboo, and a good friend of mine, Joe Mobley, sent me some of this. Um, I watch all those survival shows, and I know a lot of people say they're full of drama and everything, and they are. But for me, I can look past the drama, I guess, sometimes. Um, Everyday life is full of drama. So, I mean, these TV producers or whatever, they're just trying to sell a product. And the benefit of that for me is I get to watch how other people do things and sometimes, even learn a little something. So, I was watching one of, the Naked and Afraid one, and these guys couldn't boil water to save their lives in a bamboo vessel. So then Dave Canterbury posted on the Pathfinder Learning Center about how, his dual survival, him and Cody, he had done it, but quite a bit differently than what these other two people were trying. So I don't have this native to me, and it's a skill that I want to try. It looked, simple enough the way that Dave did it and everything, but I want to try it for myself and see how it's going to work. So I just like, trying this stuff and seeing what's going to happen. Okay, my first impressions of this is it's hard. It seems to be pretty hard. I want to do everything with a knife. I don't want to use my backhoe for it. So I've only got two pieces, so it's not like I can experiment on them. And they seem to be green. I mean, obviously the color is green, but I mean, I don't think they were dead. Well, that seems pretty green to me. So anyway, I'm just going to try and pick a spot and try and make a narrow opening in the top. And actually I'm not sure why it would be a bad idea just to make a small opening only in one side. It'd be just like a pot with a lid on it. The more that you have it covered up, the faster it's going to boil. I'll have to think about that. I got two pieces. Maybe I'll do that to one and then make a complete slit across the other. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to just take my knife and try and carve a slot across it, or if I'm going to try and maybe puncture it and then baton it down. With that method, I'm pretty worried about splitting it. So I'm just going to take it one step at a time. I'm going to get me a fire going, and I'm going to just set up a couple of tripods to lay this across and put the coals underneath it. Now, I have birch in my area, and it can be done with birch. I've never done it with birch because I've never been able to get the bark. I've never sacrificed the bark off a live tree really, and I've never found the bark around me without little pinholes in it. So that's something to do on my list, and it takes a little time. You have to kind of heat the bark up to bend it properly and stuff like that. But basically you can do the same thing with birch bark too, I've been told. So anyway, let me get a fire going. Let me kind of get reset up, and we'll make the initial cut on one of these pieces. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is take this one. This one, it's got this hollow part here where it got cut. It's obviously between these two cells is where I want to work. But I'm just going to kind of see how hard it is to cut this. Doesn't seem to be too bad, but it's not super easy either. I think this is the one that I was just going to do the little edge on, so maybe I need to stop cutting so much on it. See what happens when I do this. Kind of hard up here. Should do it on the ground. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. It'll be a lot more stable on the ground. For me, using my knife like this, I have a lot more control. I can just tap, tap, tap on it and kind of get it to do what I want to do, as opposed to needing to exert a lot of force on it, especially with this, it's a decent sized knife, If I had something a little smaller, I would probably have more leverage right up at where I'm working and stuff. But for me, if I just go slow, I like this method personally. Let's see here how I want to do this without cutting my toe off. Now, as you can see, I've never researched this. I've never watched anybody else do this. I usually, like I was saying on the shows, they just kind of, a guy says, well, this is what I'm going to do, and pretty soon he's doing it. They don't do a lot of teaching, but they give you ideas, as far as I'm concerned anyway. I can see I've already cracked it through the cell, but maybe that's a surface crack. I'm going to keep working on it, just going slow, and once I get this initial opening out, I'm hoping I can enlarge it maybe a little bit more. Just going to go slow, just kind of check it out. So I'll get back with you. Alright, well, this is what I was able to do, and I basically gave up on that little half-assed chopping I was doing and really got into it and started batoning it pretty decent. This stuff is thick. Holy smokes, I had no idea that it was this thick. I bet you it's a 1/4 inch thick. That's some tough stuff right there. So this is the one I'm going to leave with just this little opening, and I'm hoping that now I can do basically the same thing except widen it out on this other piece. So I'm just gonna maybe even use the spot where I was batoning, it doesn't even matter, I don't care, it's pretty thick stuff. So with the ground being this moist, I kind of got me a stick to support the end of this bamboo on. And I don't want to do that either, because I want to keep my feet out of the way. So we'll just see how she goes in the soft mud. Yeah, that's not going to work. I need to do it like I did before and lay it down. So let's see here. maybe kind of get a start. Get me a good end point. See, if I were to do this, if I really had a bigger piece, it would be obviously a lot nicer if I would have left it longer. I would have had like a handle to keep my hands out of the way of my knife and stuff, and then I could kind of, you know, I'd have it leaning up against my knee, and that's kind of what I'm missing here, is leaning up against my knee, and then I'd have something to baton with, and my feet and everything would be out of the way. I want to be careful at the end here. I don't know how careful I have to be, but I don't want to blow out that side. Man, all this muddy ground is making it a little bit difficult here. See, I don't like that. I'm just going to keep working at it and try to... There's no reason for me to rush this. I want to be as safe as absolutely possible. Probably bring it up to my stump and work on it, because this ground is just nasty. And I'm sure I'm making a harder deal out of this than what needs to be, but I don't care. I'm going to go slow, and I only have 2 pieces to work with. It's not like I have all this growing everywhere. So if I screw it up, I don't have any more pieces. We're almost through. I would have never guessed this stuff was this thick. So you can see I'm basically through right there. And once I get this opened up, see, I've shaved all this stuff down, so I'm basically done here. I just need to kind of clean up and open this section up a little bit more. So now I'm going to work on the other side. Okay, I'm just about through. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit and get back with you. Okay, well, I got it cleaned up. Here's the one, once again, that I just kind of did the little hole out of, a little notch. And then this one I cleaned up a little bit better. So hopefully you can see that. I'm going to dump some water. See which one I want to do first. I think I'm going to dump some water in this one real quick and take it over to my fire and see how long it takes to boil, or if I can even get it to boil. Okay, I think I'll start a timer and see how long this takes, if I can get it to work. Now, one bummer about only having one little node to work with this bamboo is that my cross pieces here are going to burn right through, and it's going to end up in the drink, or it's going to end up in the fire. So I think I might try to cool those down just a little bit real quick. See if that helps, because they're already on fire. Which one I just put out half of my fire. Oh my god, what a joke. Okay, the crisis was averted for a minute here, but basically you can see what a pain in the ass this is if you don't have, obviously these are green sticks, but still, I mean, if I could have had them out here, I could have this fire going. And I wanted to light this fire right now before I put the bamboo on there, just because I needed to get into this fire a little bit. It's just been sopping wet here, and I wanted to be able to get in there to light this fire, but I think it'll be okay. I think I'll try a little more delicate approach here. I saw a couple bubbles, real minor bubbles coming from the bamboo. I'm not sure what that is. There's definitely steam coming from the bamboo, but I think it's just coming from the bamboo and not the water. Alright, well, I'm just going to sit here and play with this tiny little fire and try to get some heat up there, and get back with you. Okay, that's pretty close to a boil. I mean, those bubbles are coming up. It's not a rolling boil like what I would like, but what I feared would happen happened, and my tripod fell apart. So obviously, I mean, I was just kind of doing this kind of fast, so obviously what I need to do now is cut some thicker branches that are green and use those for my tripod. But I think that's boiling right there. At the very least, it'll do some pasteurization for sure. Alright, well, I did that off camera, but I'm not going to do it again. I stuck my finger in there and it's hotter than hell, so it's boiling. So there you go, you can see, look at all them little bubbles coming up. That's definitely a rolling boil now. Now the trick's to get this bad boy off the fire before it burns through the bottom. Whoops, one more thing. 14 minutes and 13 seconds. Yeah, she's rolling now. Okay, it's off the fire. Look at that. It's totally off the fire. I mean, it's just cooking in there. So I would definitely say that's a successful boil. I'm going to let it cool down and get my other piece out of the way, and then cut some better pieces and give it a try again. But I don't know, 15 minutes or 14:30, whatever, and you can have yourself some a nice drink of water after she cools down, and there's no doubt that's boiling. So learned a few lessons, and I don't know, I think I gained some knowledge. So I'm going to play around with this piece in a little bit and go from there. Okay, here's my new and improved tripod. I just went and cut some green sticks, and this is far from perfect. I mean, this fire is raging. It doesn't need to be like this. All I need to have is some coals. As you can see, the bamboo starting to start on fire, and that's not good, you know. I mean, that's obviously, it's just like with the birch bark, from what I understand, is you need to have the coals and the flames beneath the level of the fire. Well, this fire is just, you know, shooting way up there. It's been kind of a pain in the butt to keep going just because of the wet wood and try not to burn through my tripod and stuff like that. What would have worked better would have been to get a log about 3 times, you know, this diameter or something, and lie it down, and the same over here, and probably dig a hole out from underneath it if I needed more space. That would have worked just as good or better. All this stuff I'm doing basically half-assed. I mean, I should have taken more time and stuff. It's just I just wanted to get out here and see if I could do it, you know. I mean, it's late on a work night and stuff, and it's just kind of fun to do these projects and you know, not always just wait for the weekend. But anyway, you can learn a ton of stuff from just doing it kind of even half-assed, because then you know the way you're supposed to do it the right way. So anyway, this fire is plenty big enough to get that to start to boil. You can see the steam starting to come off and everything, so I didn't need it, you know, shooting frickin' flames right up, way off the top. And this tripod, if I'd have done something, you can tell how it's all, I mean, I didn't even sharpen the ends on these sticks. I mean, a lot of this stuff could have been done a lot better. It's just wanted to get out and practice. So this will boil, I'm sure, in a bit. It's going to take it a while, and I might even give up tonight just because, like I said, I'm work night and I want to go get something to eat. But let's see what this water over here that boiled tastes like. Alright, well, there's nothing special about this water. It's not like I got it from my creek or anything. I got it from the tap inside. But that's okay for me. It doesn't have a bad smell. It's just an unusual smell. It smells like, I don't know, it smells pretty good actually. It smells like, I don't know, plant or something. And it tastes like plant. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll drink that all day. Hell, I'd drink that more than city water. It's actually got pretty good taste. I like that. I mean, you could flavor water with that. I mean, it's just got a nice, good, wholesome taste. Doesn't taste like, you know, like I said, like city water tastes like chlorine and stuff. This is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's got a tiny bit of ash in it. A couple of random little pieces of whatever. It started to burn through the bottom pretty good. It's probably a one-time deal per container, especially with that raging fire I had. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So you can see it almost went through the bottom. My other one's starting to steam pretty good, so talk to you guys later. Alright guys, well that's about it. I didn't take the time to boil in this one, but the water was hot, smoking hot, so I mean it would definitely pasteurize. You know, keep the fire down low on it and just let it sit there and get good and hot, and let it sit there for an hour or so. That'll disinfect it just as good. So, and this one too, I let the fire get too high, but I mean, if you're in a place where you got bamboo, you should have enough of it where you can do this quite a bit. And if not, then you just be a little more careful and only pasteurize and don't let the flames get up too high. So, anyway, hope you guys like it. Take care.